part-time aftercare assistant, so 26. Oh, I don't know the name either.
No, I put it.
I didn't add the name, I just said the position, right? The part-time personnel. So this is like the max since they're part-time, or they work a certain many hours a week and it comes up to this total, or just children? Okay.
Yes, ma'am. We have three full-time and one part-time. And they're part-time because we open at 7 a.m. So they work from 7 to 10 and possibly come back from 3 to 6. But it's only a max about 15 to 20 hours a week. And that person assists when we are either on vacation or either for sick time. And because the way the budget, the line is, that information was given, because I did meet with Ms. Kelly as well, to try to put it on the budget is very difficult, because I put it in brackets as well as put slashes for last names, but of course you can't see it because of the length of the budget.
So this total here is for 2 part-time people and you said it's 3 full-time?
No, ma'am. On that line, it should be, the first one should be 2 full-time and 1 part-time person on there.
Okay, so the supervisor, before and after care, and then a part-time? Okay.
Correct.
All I have to do to
I'm sorry, I'm going through my list, I apologize. Page 27. Oh, page 27, about the maintenance department, or the maintenance person. Just wondering, it's an expenditure under public works, so I guess this would go to Gary. But the actual for 2016, it was $265,898, and it jumped. Is that a person, a department, or just
It's a department.
how many? Okay, how many people is that?
It's sideways on our.
Sideways on our computers.
Right.
Yeah, I flipped it in print. You can rotate that
Right.
on your computer.
It keeps flipping, but it should be for 10, because you have the mechanic, I'm sorry, it's 10, 11. It will be 11, mechanic is 12, and part-time personnel is 13.
So we're looking at 1 director, 1 secretary. Then it says part-time personnel,
Mm-hmm.
maintenance, and mechanic.
Right.
Foreman. So how many people total in the department? All right.
We have no foreman. That foreman line is blank.
Okay. And 1 mechanic?
1 mechanic, 11 full-timers,
That's maintenance department?
Yes.
Okay.
and 1 part-timer. And right now, we have 4 that are out. So I'm working with 6? Yes.
You say, I'm sorry, trustee, may I ask a question? When you say out, meaning sick, out, unemployed?
Disability?
Oh, so they're not.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, actual, I only have 7 people in my department right now.
Okay. Next question. So where it says part-time personnel, 2016 actual was 0, 2017 actual was 0. So are you looking to add a part-time personnel because you're short 4 people? Or are you planning to hire 4 qualified people?
We have a part-time personnel now. And I do have a full-time position open that we're interviewing for now.
Thank you, Jesus. Okay.
Is that a seasonal? I'm sorry, trustee, not to jump.
No, it's a full-time that we have posted now.
A part-time seasonal?
Yes,
And that season is what to what?
either 5 or 6 months. No more than 1,000? It's 1,000 hours. 999.
Right. They can't go over 1,000 hours.
Okay. Okay. Then, only 3 more questions, sorry. Page 27 again, it says contract other. And it just said contractual cost other is $29,000. And the chief answered is saying all outstanding contractors for HVAC, plumbing, carpentry, electrician, etc. So that's just like a guesstimate. That's like the max you plan on doing, I'm sorry, was that?
Yes.
Oh, okay, okay. And then under revenue, I see, I'm not sure if maybe I was confused. So under revenue on pages 2 and 3 and 4, shoot, I left my glasses, but, so we're getting revenue under 2017 actual, is 2016 actual, oh, thank you. Oh, God, that's great. Under 2016 actual shows some numbers for things like Pine Lake shelters, Regal Farm tours, birthday parties, etc. 2017 actual it shows 0. And then under 2018 proposal, all the numbers are filled, all the line items are filled in again. So are we doing something different, opening up the pool? So, and it goes on.
Okay, well, that information should have been taken out
Okay.
for the pool, for sure. The pool and Regal Farm, for sure. Now, Pine Lake, we still rent Pine Lake.
What page are you on, please?
Page 4 of the revenue.
And
Yeah.
then additional information was submitted based on your question, trustee. Formal response was all farm revenue will be omitted. If the board determines that the farm will be closed permanently at this time, budget preparation process, the board has not provided guidance on the status of the farm. So at this point, we're going to go ahead and omit that, but eventually the board is going to have to make a final determination on the status of the barn and farm, and what the disposition is going to be with that facility.
Right.
Thank you for bringing that to my attention.
Okay, and then the last question. I don't see, so I see a total on revenue on page 4, page 5, for the proposed budget being a total of $10,108,450, $10,108,454,000. That, however, will change because some of these numbers will be coming out. I don't see the total for expenditures. I just see revenue, and the last page that I have is page 28, and it just has a department total. So is there a total expenditures somewhere?
Front page should be on the first page, should give you a full wrap up of the entire budget.
Expenditure over at the very bottom.
Oh, okay. Expenditures over revenues of $2.7 million.
I'll let somebody talk about it. Yeah.
Okay, I would like to say that some of these things, I saw tremendous raise. I saw one raise at as much as $20,000 increases, and I know that is not correct. On page, I know we're not giving that much of a raise, increase in salary, but it says from 59,000 to 92,000. I know.
Where are you referencing there, what position?
Actually, so page 11.
So I did
75,
provide a response in regards to that. At the time, the system is showing, at the time of that, in that time of the budget preparation, that the year-to-date that the IT director was receiving was that amount. That very well could be an error, but that is what the system is showing and reading. And until IRH is done, we're reconciling the system and updating and doing the closeouts, it's very difficult for me to ascertain past amounts. What I can tell you is the current amount that you see under current year budget proposal, that is the true amount of the salary of the IT director.
And that's.
And that's based on a 10% reduction that was done in 2016.
Well, I don't agree. But that's, I
I'm just-
understand
I'm
what
just
you're
saying.
saying, because then I'm looking at the collector's position went from 29,000 to 47,000. That's another almost $20,000.
The board,
Increase.
and that was
Some of the board.
Some of the board, that was, okay.
Yeah, and I thought that was pretty much, okay.
It was, wait, it was what was the answer to that?
The board,
Voted for that,
the
remember?
majority of the board this year voted on an increase. Yes, increase for the collector position.
Of what did you say?
I said it was $8,000.
So where the difference come from?
Right, because here it says 29.
It's based on what's showing in the system during the FY, when we're pulling the budget, that's what's populated. Again, that is bad information coming in, bad information going out. The only thing that I can tell you is the current budget year for the salaries are accurate. Anything that was done in past years, I cannot attest to the accuracy of those numbers. I can only attest to the accuracy of the upcoming budget year that's going forward, because that is the budget year I had direct involvement in. Yes, Madam Clerk.
Was this kind of just in the 20,000 that include health insurance and other things?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
Because I was looking at that too also for, the village manager, but I, did talk to RH and on some of these things, and it was very difficult for them to get some of these numbers together, the actuals, and I still think they did the best job they possibly could with the situation they had, because for somebody made from 29,000 to 47,000, these big jumps.
And so,
You know, they did the best they could, because like I said, they didn't have all the actuals, but I'm thankful for this.
and just to be made noteworthy, upon the board's passage of the budget more likely than not is going to be amended one more time.
Yes.
In December, prior to the tax levy going in. What we need to do, we have to pass the budget because it has to be filed. We're late filing the budget. In order for a tax levy to be passed, the budget has to be passed as well.
Exactly.
So the board should see a forthcoming amendment. If the board passes the budget today, the budget will more likely than not be seeing an amended budget coming across for passage in December or the first or second meeting in January.
Right.
Once RH gets more of a handle on the expenditures that are represented in past fiscal years.
Right. And they'll have more reality, but they said they'll have more reality
Yeah.
figures than this.
And the one thing I want to say, the reality of our financial deficit should be known. We are running on a $2.7 million deficit.
Right.
That's at this point. The board, in the next 2 to 3 weeks, will be provided several options to bridge the gap of that deficit. I think it's important for the board, as well as the public, to have transparent information, to know what the true deficit is, so the board can be prepared to make some very tough decisions, and so the public can be educated in getting a true budget and a true dollar amount, and representing where we actually are in deficit in general fund. But as I just explained, we will be doing an amendment to the budget based on the board's decision on various topics such as the tax levy and various other revenue options to bridge that gap.
I think the budget deficit is
Just a
understated.
second. Just a second.
Yes, I'm just,
No, I'll get to you.
Okay.
So when the amended budget comes back, I don't know, so 2016 actuals and 2017 actuals, especially for people who get a payroll check, we can't get actuals from the payroll company to see how much these people actually made instead of, I mean, I understand that some stuff in our system may be wrong, but when we put together a budget and we pay people through a company, I don't see how come we can't have actual 2016 actuals
Yeah,
today.
we actually do. I've actually looked at some wage reports myself, historical. We have that information, I can pull that.
How long will that take to get that information in the budget so we can have the true numbers in front of us?
We could probably get it done in a couple of weeks, depending on, what the size of the task is. Are you looking across the board for all?
Well, on the couple that we brought up, those
Yeah.
are in there, they're not right. So if those are not right, I wouldn't think the others are right, the numbers are just not that far off. So,
Yeah, I have
mean,
worked with historical wage reports, and that information is available, and we'll be able to get it readily.
Okay, I appreciate that a lot, because I know you guys are working hard on this. And because right now, to put this publicly, it would be, because it's not clear at all, and I wouldn't want it, I don't want it would just be a monster, because they don't understand it, we don't have clarification on it, and we want it done right, so we can be accurate and see where we actually are with the money. And I'm glad for the forensic audit you guys are doing, and trying to make it as factual as possible.
So, to be clear, the budget, as presented to the board in the past, has been fictitious. So yes, this is going to be a reaction from the public based on seeing these numbers, because they've never been presented with numbers like this.
Reaction
Ever.
to us.
Ever, okay? So, we should be prepared to deal with the public, because that's what our jobs are as public servants, to deal with the public and deal with the true reaction of what's going on. And that's where we're at with this. And we'll be having further dialogue in regards to this particular subject. But like I said, when I took this interim role, the first task I put at hand is, listen, getting to close as a rational budget as possible. Garbage in the system, garbage out. We can do only our very best based on information that is going on. A budget has been passed. We've had 2 years of no entries being made at all in any of the financial management systems. For me to realistically sit here and tell the board that I would be able to get all this fixed before December 31st is not a factual statement.
We can't get it.
But what I can get you is the question, your question is answered. The 2017 actual salaries are listed because those are actual salaries. And RRH is working on several tasks right now to prepare us for upcoming audit. So this is why I specifically mentioned to the board that there will be a budget amendment coming to amend numbers, to clarify numbers, once RRH has done their work, do further research. Secondly, in reference to Treasurer Dilworth's, I think he said the numbers are very well understated. The last board meeting, I interacted with Treasurer Dilworth. I said, give me a call if you want to come and review the budget, work with the finance department to get this budget done. I invited him to do so. I had never received a phone call. But now tonight, individuals want to be critical of this budget when, number one, we had one reading in a public hearing, a second reading of the budget. We had a meeting of the whole meeting that just passed, where this same budget was presented, and then now we're receiving questions in regards to the budget, which are realistic questions. But a lot of these things can't get done on the day of receiving questions to modify budgets, to make changes. And this is why you have 3 readings of a budget. This is why you have a public hearing to address these questions. I'm respectfully asking the board to review, respectfully asking the board to review the budget based on how it stands. I am stating that an amendment will come forward. I am stating what the projected loss that we have in the budget, so the board can be prepared to make decisions to try to bridge that gap.
Mayor?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I would just like to clarify something a little earlier, just for background information. When you were talking about the large increase in salary for the collector, the reason that salary was increased was because our previous attorneys told us that we were not in compliance with some recent federal legislation regarding the classifications of some of the jobs. And in order for us to come into compliance, we had to then increase the salaries. That was the basis for the increase.
Okay, but, and I do remember that clearly, and I think Trustee Wilson did bring that document, and it had not been passed or approved, but it was just done anyway. But it really wasn't approved, but that was done anyway. So that was a necessity, but anyway, it happened. Trustee Wilson? Thank you. Trustee?
I just want to make a public note of this. I do review the budget every time we get it. If I recall, the last time we received this, it didn't have 2017 actuals, and I asked if we could get it. Now, I think I got this yesterday, last night, and I had something to do. So I asked the questions once I read it. But when I last saw this, we didn't have 2017 actuals. And I remember, I'm sorry, he mentioned that he could get them in there. And I appreciate that. So now we can see what's what, because we do need to see what was spent in 2017 to prepare for 2018. So I apologize if you think that we're not looking at the budget. And then again, for 2016, I'm gonna ask the same question, if we can have realistic numbers. Because to me, some of these do look like a $20,000 jump. And if we can get the actuals, it'll just make more sense.
So the only item that was changed on the budget from the time of the meeting of the whole meeting to this time was combining the information for the trustees with individual trustees' names in regards to training, as well as adding the 2017 actuals. That was the only changes that were made to this budget. There was no further changes other than that. So this same budget, with only a change of combining information, was added to the budget, and that was it. So this same budget, minus combining items, was presented to the board at the meeting of the whole meeting 2 weeks ago.
Okay, and understand, everyone, that the budget is a working document. It's always to be modified, so to keep peace. And on the budget, when we say that, I just want to bring this up, as we had said this earlier. I know it's later, but I want to congratulate, as far as budget and training, for Ms. Dolores Buckley that received the Certificate of Accomplishment for Records Training and Freedom of Information Act online training that she just received. And I congratulate her for that. I've shown that here that I've received a Certificate of Completion, had successful government ethics that I did online, and I received my full accomplishment for that. My other training that I did, ICARE, online training that's completed, and I shared with the board. Another training that I just did for for privacy and information security and the rules of behavior, I completed online and I shared with the board. Thank you. Okay. With that said, with the budget, there's a motion. Oh, sorry, I forgot. Yes, I'm sorry. Treasurer Dilbert, because I thought he had addressed what you said.
Okay, so I just want to say to the acting village manager that you must make sure that you call me, because the last time I went inside that office, village office, I was ran out of there. So you must make sure that you call me, because I want to make sure that I am able to come in there and work with you guys into putting together this village budget. Now listen, I have over 10 years experience putting budgets together. I see that there's a problem here with this budget. Now I understand that this budget is a working document. I truly do understand it. This on page 1, when you actually take a look at the village's real estate tax revenue dollars, it's not 5.1 million. That's actually overstated, well overstated the village's tax revenue dollars. The village's tax revenue dollars is at 3.5 million. Those, if you look at page 2, the police pension taxes, the fire pension taxes, the IMRF, the Capital Projects Fund, Social Security tax, Medicare fund, all those dollars come out of that $3.5 million. So right now, this budget is actually a deficit of just under $4 million instead of the $2.3 million. So you must make sure that you call me and let me know when you are working on this document, so I can actually come over there and actually help out, with the document. Another thing too, I wanted to ask you, RH in their monthly report, it says that the finance director, who's labeled as a finance director?
That is mislabeled. That is not labeled correctly.
What's
I don't generate those reports, that title is misstated. We do not have a finance director.
Okay, all right.
So we stand corrected.
So who actually put this budget together?
RH, along with Jacilia and myself. And so, to answer the treasurer's question, first, since I've been interim manager, I've never restricted the treasurer from coming into Village Hall. Secondly, I cannot call somebody to come in and do the job that they're paid to do, $10,000 a year. You want me to call you to come in and work. Last board meeting, I specifically extended the offer. I said, Treasurer Dilworth, you said there are a lot of deficiencies with the budget. I said, Treasurer Dilworth, please give me a call so I can coordinate a time for myself, Mr. Lindblom, and Cecilia to sit down and go over the budget. Because I do value your 10 years of finance experience, and I value everybody here that contributes to the greater good of the residents and staff of the Village University Park. But let me make it clear, I have insurance renewals I'm dealing with, I have a tax levy I have to pass, I have a budget that needs to be passed, I have 2 years of almost irreversible damage of financial issues that the village has done due to lack of financial entries. So, sir, I do not have time to call you to get my permission to come. But I've never restricted you, and I want to say this. I've never restricted you since I've been the interim manager for you to come to the Village Hall or to enter any doors of Village Hall. I have not done that. And when that did occur, it was before I became interim manager, and we had an explicit discussion on it, and I said you were invited to come by anytime. Secondly, again, as I stated earlier, the same budget was presented at the meeting of the whole. There were no modifications of the title changes and actuals being placed. And I extended the olive branch and said, come in. And sir, you're saying I should call you. That I just don't find that to be feasible when I'm doing 110 other tasks, plus dealing with 7 elected officials that all have individual personalities and individual requests that I'm fulfilling. I'm dealing with department heads that are working very diligently and hard, regardless of what some may say. So in saying this, sir, please give me a call. I'll say this again in public. You can give me a call tomorrow. Let's set up a time and let's make this happen.
Madam Mayor, I'd like to call a question.
Okay, thank you. All right, a roll call.
Trustee Williams. This is on the budget.
Both sides.
Trustee Wilson.
Both no.
Trustee Brooks.
Both sides.
Trustee McMullen.
Both sides.
Trustee Page.
Aye.
Trustee Brown.
I'll vote aye.
Mayor Cummings. Madam Mayor, that's ordinance O 2017-25.
New business, resolution of the Village University Park, Cook County, Illinois, authorization and approving the acquisition of a web service agreement from Revise LLC, aka Revise Software Systems. Is there a motion?
So moved. So moved.
Moved by trustee Wilson.
Second.
Second by trustee McMullen. Questions, concerns, comments? Hearing none, roll call.
Trustee Williams.
Both sides.
Trustee Wilson.
Aye.
Trustee Brooks.
Both sides.
Trustee McMullen.
Aye.
Trustee Page.
Aye.
Trustee Brown.
Aye.
And Mayor Cummings.
Aye.
Madam Mayor, that's resolution on 2017-26.
Thank you. F2B, resolution of the Village of University Park, Cook County, Illinois, authorization and approval of resolution for general maintenance under the Illinois Highway Code for section number 15-00000-00G, and that's in the MFT. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by trustee Wilson. Second.
Second.
Second by trustee Brooks. Concerns, comments? Hearing none, roll call.
Trustee Williams.
Both sides.
Trustee Wilson.
Aye.
Trustee Brooks.
Both sides.
Trustee McMullen.
Both sides.
Trustee Page.
Aye.
Trustee Brown.
Aye.
And Mayor Cummings.
Aye.
Madam Mayor, that's resolution 2017-27.
Thank you. F2C, resolution determining the estimated property taxes to be levied by the Village of University Park, Will and Cook Counties, Illinois for 2017 tax year. Their motion?
So moved.
Moved by trustee Brooks. Second?
Second.
Second by trustee Austin Brown. Questions, concerns, comments? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Williams.
Okay.
Trustee Wilson.
Abstain.
Trustee Brooks.
Both aye.
Trustee McMullen.
Aye.
Trustee Payton.
Aye.
Trustee Brown.
Abstain.
Mayor Covington.
Both sides.
Trustee Williams. Motion
Determine the
carries.
estimated property tax levy. Do I have to read it again?
Trustee Brown.
Okay, let me read this again, maybe, Brett. Okay.
Madam Mayor, that's resolution 2017-28.
Thank you very much. Appointments to Human Services Special Events Committee, HHSSC, And before we vote on this, I'd like to say that I apologize to the people that did volunteer, they did applications. But as the police chief, interim manager said as well, we were trying to find the original, all the lists of the people that had applied for positions a long time ago. For some reason, all of my files disappeared out of my cabinets, and I had no comparisons to do. But I will be contacting all the people that did sign up at the community program, when we had the community hall meeting, and you will be contacted. I apologize for the delay. What I was doing, because I do not have an assistant, and I do work every day too, and I deal with everyone as well, and with the village. So I deeply apologize to you, but you will be in contact with those of you who are not ignored. I did get your applications, and we were trying to find out the people that were currently on those, because a lot of those, unfortunately, all those committees were dissolved. They were voted out. We were told at one point with past administration did not want those committees anymore. We brought them back, so I had to find out who was on it, if they wanted to still be a part of it, and some new ones that we did have. So we'll have that all together now, and I'll just base it on what I can, the best I can, because all the files have disappeared, coincidentally. So with that, we're going to start the Human Service Special Events Committee. That'll be brought back in, and the liaison for that is Trustee Will. Okay,
You got the name?
what's the names are?
Here,
She has.
the names.
Did you read them all for me, Trustee?
Yes, we got Betty Wayne, Diane Humes, and Rhonda Campbell. And they're for 3-year terms.
Thank you. And that has at least, they have to have 5 voting members, and they can have advisory committee members as well. So because that doesn't mean that you cannot still vote, come in and try to be a part of that committee. Okay? Is there a motion?
So move.
Moved by Trustee
Second.
Brooks, second by Trustee McMullen. Roll call.
Question.
Questions? I'm sorry.
Question.
Yes?
I'd like to just publicly open this up. So there are 2 other additional slots. I do not have, there's a couple other people who were on the committee that I know one is still interested.